Alright, so welcome to They Said, She Said. This is episode 9. I am your host, Nicholas Brady, and alongside me is my brother in arms, Chris Fox.
Yep, I am here as well.
And and on the other side of me is Ashton. Welcome back, Ashton.
Thanks.
How are you?
So good. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good.
I don't know why I'm talking so low. Doing so good.
Good. Millie's gone this week. She's out and about doing whatnot, but I'm sure she'll be back. We'll see. We'll see if she's back. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, if you're new to this podcast, this is a conversational podcast where the three of us, we bring a random topic we bring a random topic of conversation to the table, and then we talk it out for your amusement. All right, so that's what we do here. And we post each new podcast every Monday. So this podcast will go on Monday, yeah. Today.
Mondays.
If you're downloading it, it's today.
7/6 Central.
Yes. So, but if you're one of those people that would love to watch the videos instead of listen to our sensual voices, we post every episode on YouTube.
YouTube.
Hulu.
Should we do Vizio? Should we do
Vizio? Yeah, let's do
Vimeo. Vimeo. That's it.
Vimeo?
Is that a thing? People use that, don't they? Vimeo.
Like hipsters.
I've heard of it.
Hipsters do.
Yeah. Filmmakers.
So we post and each topic is its own episode. So let us get started, shall we? I'll start with today's topic. It's Pluto.
Pluto.
Yay! The planet. Not Mickey's dog, but the planet. All right. You guys on board with me so far?
Yeah, I'm
It's not
taking
mac and cheese.
Isn't it not a planet anymore?
Whoa! Here's the thing.
If enough people believe.
He busted out the finger.
I did. Here's the thing. Last week, I believe they had like a conference where 3 scientists, one like astronomer and then like 2 other scientists of some...
Biologists?
Yeah, or something, I don't know. They came and they had a discussion... Maybe, I don't know. They had a discussion about Pluto and if it's a planet or not still. Even though before, like years ago, they ruled that's not. But now they're like, is it? Yeah. And they all brought up good points, I felt. And some of their points was that...
We really want it to be.
It's cute and
it
petite.
is adorable.
Smaller than the other ones.
It's phenomenal. One brought up like the... Not the rotation, but the
gases?
The thing around when it goes around the sun.
Oh, the orbit.
The orbit, yeah, they brought up that. And how it's not really... in conjunction with the other planets, so it's not a planet, and why it's like so small to where it's like there's an asteroid as big as it is, but it's not a planet either. It's an asteroid, so they're like, oh, what determines a planet? And so they brought up all these good points, and at the end they put a vote up to all the people that were there, and it won by a landslide that it should be a planet. People want it.
Wait, like
people
the people
want it.
Okay, scientists or just people?
From what I heard, it was like people.
Okay, so just random people.
Like it was a discussion about it at like a big university.
Okay.
All right. So like a lot of people, like students were there, people were there, and everything, and so they talked about that. And yeah, they want Pluto to be a planet. So because of that, next year they're going to be voting again on if Pluto should be a planet or not. Isn't that awesome?
It is.
Look at all our taxpayers' money going to vote if it's a
who
planet.
Gets to vote? Everybody?
I don't know. Probably scientists.
Like just like how do you qualify for the voting?
I don't know.
Put on a lab coat.
You just have to put S or what is it, BS at the end of your...
Do you want me to put the title? Want me to pull it up and I'll
kind
find
of,
out.
But while you're talking about that, I'll mention something. Okay, so here's the thing. I want Pluto to be a planet, but I don't think we should just bend science according to public opinion and will.
Yeah.
It either is or isn't. You have to define a planet at some point. And if it doesn't fit a definition, then it can't be. Even though I want it to be.
Well, I want to know, why did they retract it? It was a planet, and then someone decided no.
Because it's in the points that they they bring up, because they bring up the point like the orbit's different from the others and how it's.
I mean, if they're wrong about this,
something like that.
What else are they wrong about?
It's science. It's all theory.
Climate change.
It's all science. All theory.
Are they wrong about endangered species? I don't know. It could be anything. If Pluto.
You can't trust.
Yeah,
science.
Pluto was like the base of things I learned as a child. If I can't trust science, what can I trust? Maybe I don't know. But yeah, I don't think you should be able to Wikipediaize the science. You know?
Right.
Just because enough people think it's true doesn't mean it should be true. Or want it to be true. Like even with the Colbert Report, like have you ever seen where he'll go and like he'll ask his audience to change something on Wikipedia? Like one time he had them change that elephants were no longer endangered, that they were actually like thriving and almost overpopulated in Africa. And they did it, and it was like that for like 3 days before Wikipedia changed it back. Geez. And so it was just to like prove a point of how stupid it is to like let public decide fact.
Right.
Because you can warp it.
All right, so one of the debaters, Dementor Salavidus.
Is that Harry Potter character?
Director of Harvard's Planets and Life Initiative.
Nick.
He
can't
is.
trust him.
Leviosa! Right, that's what Harry Potter says. Win Leviosa.
Win Leviosa?
Yeah, that's it. Isn't
no
that
idea
what she says? I don't
Never
know.
seen it.
I don't know what's it. You never seen Harry
Something.
Potter?
It does end with
Or Harry
Leviosa,
Potter?
though, I think.
I mean, I read
Wingardio Leviosa, that's it.
Wingardio?
Yeah.
Leviosa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wingardio Leviosa.
And then it sounds
something like
a
that.
steer or like something, right?
A steer?
To fight the bad guy.
What?
Wasn't his like a deer?
A deer?
Something else you gotta look up now.
He says like Windy Leviosa or whatever he said, and then the deer goes and beats up or it gets rid of the Dementors, right?
Yeah, something. No, that's like something spectronum.
Spectronum, maybe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spells. I don't remember.
There are a lot of spells. So this is what we said. He said by default we should just leave it as a planet. We should just label it as a planet.
But didn't they already default it to not a
planet?
planet?
They did. But this is what he said.
Because I feel like
right?
we should have said that the first time they were trying to make it not a planet.
Because he talks about the conversation about the debate was that the word planet does need a scientific definition. So he's like, the word planet needs a scientific definition because I guess it doesn't have one right now.
It doesn't have one?
Doesn't have a scientific definition.
Then why did they get rid of it in the first place?
So just listen, okay?
Tell me, Nick.
They're bullies.
The reason, okay, needs a scientific definition, but that we don't need enough yet to create one.
We don't need enough yet to
They
create
don't know
one?
enough.
They
don't know enough.
They don't
yet.
know enough about planets to create a definition for a planet?
Yes. So
we already have
the reason is because we've
discovered
thousands of planets orbiting stars beyond the sun, and until we can understand how they formed and what they're really like, any definition is premature. Pluto may be a planet based on scientific reasoning, or it may not be. For now, he said we should keep Pluto as a planet by default.
Okay, I kind of get that, but at the same time, if we somehow discover that, like, oh, those planets that we thought were planets don't match our planets, we could just make up a different word for those.
Yeah.
So we could just call our stuff planets.
Yeah.
And then we'll just sit on that.
And then one person, let's see if I can find his name.
Is there a counterpoint?
Well, like I said, there were 3 people that were talking and brought up different points. Probably.
Okay.
The last guy was Russian because he has the name like
Stratovsky or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And so this is what another one said. It's like, and it doesn't make sense at all. Says this one guy, director David Allegorical. Yeah.
Allegorical.
He said, because like we're calling it a dwarf planet, so it's not a dwarf, so it's not a planet, it's a dwarf planet. Okay. And then his reasoning is like, basically, because this is what he says: isn't a dwarf tree also a fruit tree? Isn't a dwarf rabbit a rabbit? So it's like it's still
isn't a dwarf person also
a person? Yeah. So Peter Dinklage is a person, no matter what anyone says. He is a person.
I mean, we have to keep, like. What is it called? Politically correctness when we're talking about planets.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Out with the bullies.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
And in with the not bullies.
The Greenpeacers.
Yeah, the
Maybe?
hipsters, right?
Is that the opposite of a bully?
No.
Is that a hipster?
No, hipsters are kind of bullying because
Yeah.
they're like passive aggressive
They're
bullies.
just like judgmental bullies.
Yeah, because they're like, you're wearing that? You're wearing those shoes?
They're
So from the 90s.
They're so mean. I hate hipsters. I can't stand them. Why can't
So-
you just be nice?
Right? Anyway, so that was published in Time Magazine. So, if you like Time Magazine, if you consider
feel
that
like
a legit...
I used to consider it
Thing.
legit, and then I read like 2 articles where I was like, why is this in Time Magazine? I lost a lot of like respect for the magazine, I guess.
Well, why not?
It was like something I would have read on like Yahoo News.
Yeah.
It was like really poorly written,
Mhm.
like some garbage story that didn't matter. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I don't remember.
Gotcha. So yeah, I'm happy for Pluto. Because I'm
Me
like,
too.
yeah, Pluto's a planet!
Pluto!
That greatly affects all our lives.
I know you've seen Rick and Morty. Have you seen Rick and
Oh,
Morty?
I love Rick
No.
and Morty.
All right, there's an episode of Rick and Morty where it's about this crazy science. Okay, Rick and Morty. Rick is like this kind of like crazy scientist who builds things, and Morty is his grandson.
It's kind of like a really comedy version of like Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Like those kind of like the main characters look like that.
Yeah. He has crazy hair. He has like Albert
Except-
Einstein hair.
If like is Marty the one from
Marty?
Future Back to the Future?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marty.
So if Marty was like a complete idiot,
He'd be Morty.
And Dr. what's his name?
Rick.
If Rick was.
Oh no! Wait, are you talking about Back to the Future?
Yeah, Back to the Future.
Oh.
What is his name?
What is his name? Do you remember his name?
The scientist.
I want to say.
The Christopher or something is his actual name.
Oh no, gotta Google it.
Anyway, yeah, that guy.
Okay. And if he was like even smarter
And like
Doc.
way more condescending.
Didn't they
Yeah,
just
way
call
more
him Doc?
condescending. Yeah.
If Doc was like way more smarter and condescending, and Marty was like way stupider.
And a drunk.
and drunk.
Doc's a drunk.
Yeah.
That's
That's hilarious.
Sounds
Anyway,
promising.
It's great. There's this funny episode where
It's a good premise.
It is. It's a funny episode where the Doc, he's dealing with the devil, and it's funny. And so Morty and his dad are making a solar system like diagram like thing for like a school project, science project.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, oh, here's a solar system. And
we all have to do that.
yeah,
at some point.
exactly. And his dad's like, all right, we'll use a ping pong ball for Pluto. And then Morty's like, Pluto's not a planet.
Yeah.
And
I
then
remember that.
and his dad is just like, no, it is a planet. I was taught that. Like, no. See, like 2008, they ruled it not a planet. Like, oh well, I disagree. It's like, you disagree with science?
It's basically like the exact like argument, just like boiled down to the basics
Yeah.
of like, I disagree, even though scientists say it's not a planet.
Yeah.
I believe it is a planet.
And so
It's like, well, it's not really up for debate.
those two get abducted by Plutonians, and they get taken to Pluto because
Oh, yeah.
because on a routine like monitoring thing, they heard that he called NASA, and he was like, Pluto's a planet, and so they abducted them. They bring him to his world, and now he's like a superstar because he's like, yeah, Pluto's a planet. Because he's a scientist.
Because they're like mining their planet into destruction.
Yeah, because their mind is their planet, and it's like getting smaller, and that's why it's getting smaller.
That's why Pluto's been getting smaller. That's why they don't consider it a planet anymore. But, like the politicians want to keep mining because they're getting a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's great.
a
Anyways,
cartoon?
It's
yeah,
good,
it's a cartoon.
It's really, really funny. Anyway, so when I first read that, I couldn't stop thinking about Rick and Morty. Pluto's a planet!
Yay!
And then there's one part where like the king of the Plutonians, he's talking to Morty's dad, and he's like, it's like, yeah, Pluto's a cold celestial dwarf. What'd you say? Oh, planet! Pluto's a
yeah,
planet!
that's what they call it, a celestial dwarf,
Celestial dwarf,
not
yeah.
a dwarf planet.
Yeah,
a dwarf? Not a
A
dwarf.
celestial, a dwarf.
a celestial dwarf, because it's up in the sky.
Oh, okay.
Celestial's
celestial.
up there.
Right.
Yeah.
Dwarf?
It's like, oh yeah, a planet. Pluto's a planet. That's what I meant. Anyway, it's really funny.
Yeah, good
You
show.
should watch it.
Solid show.
It is so awesome.